gosh, my hair is so big it can't fit in this frame. I'm trying a new style. I brushed it out and I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. It's very big. So I'm not sure how I feel. Let me know. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Cara K, where we talk about all things knit and crochet. This weekend my husband will be away at work basically the whole time, which means that I'm going to be alone and it can be kind of hard with the baby, but I thought, you know what, let's make the best of it. Let's make it fun and do a weekend vlog, weekend vlog, knit with the baby, show you what I'm working on. And the other thing I'm going to do a little bit later in the video is I'm going to talk about some tips if you want to make someone something like for a baby, if someone has a baby, for a baby shower gift or something like that, just to help you out if you're not sure. And as a mom, I can give you some tips, basically, even the stuff that I've made, what I've used, what I haven't used, what I wish I knew before I had the baby, like when I was making it. But we'll go over that a little bit later. In any case, right now I am working on a baby blanket, and it's for my brother and his wife, so my sister-in-law. She's due in January with the little boy, and I really wanted to make one of these little animal blankets I've seen on Pinterest. So cute, so cute. It's like a 4-in-1 decoration, blanket, pillow, stuffy, all of these things. And I just thought it's so useful and cute, and they can use it forever. That's the thing. Another thing is I'm going to customize it. So I have to give you a little backstory. My brother's name is Hagios. I know. And everyone calls him Hog or Hoggy. So my sister-in-law is hilarious. She's calling the baby a hoglet, kind of like a piglet. And originally, if it were a girl, I was going to do a little pink piggy blanket, but of course it's not. And I thought about doing a baby boar blanket, but it's really hard to find brown baby yarn. So I just didn't know how it would turn out. So I thought, okay, no, I'm going to do a blue piggy. But I thought I didn't have a good image of what I wanted it to look like. So I just Googled blue piggy crochet, and this came up. How cute is that, right? How cute is that? So this is about how far I am with my blanket. It's folded in half. I think I'm doing about 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters. And so it's a square. So it's large enough that they can use it when he grows a little bit bigger. And it's large enough to fold under, nothing's falling out. So it looks like the picture. This is the yarn that I'm working with, the Feels Like Butter from Lion's brand. I think I got about 10 of these to make enough for the blanket and the piggy. And it recommends a size 4.5 millimeter needle, so that's what I'm doing. It is really soft and it doesn't split at all. So I think it's a really great beginner yarn. Now for my blanket, I've been doing a moss stitch, and it's my first time doing it, but I think it's really pretty. It's only a 2-row repeat where you basically knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl for 2 rows. And then you do the opposite, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. And then I did a little garter edge. And I love the texture. It's very light, perfect for Florida. In any case, I'll stop yapping and let's get this weekend started.
With every step of rocky hair, white book, the gentle whispers fill the room. I tiptoe softly through the light, dancing petals in my sight. The breeze it calls, the birds they sing, a quiet world where everything feels soft and sweet, just like a dream. I'm floating through a gentle stream, oh, in this garden full of grace. I stand around in a tender space. Flowers reach up to the sky. With every breath I feel I can fly. La la la, la 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 la.
All right, so it is the end of the day. I did start this video on a Friday afternoon because to me that's when a weekend starts. I mean, that's our typical Friday night. I know, riveting. You were on the edge of your seats, just so thrilling. Basically, after dinner, I give her a bath, we read a book, sing some lullabies, I put her to bed. And now Mama's gonna have a glass of wine, and I'm gonna have some popcorn and get to do some knitting. I wanna say though, that my bedroom has become my sanctuary. Ever since I moved my little girl into her own room, I think I did it at like 6 months old. Man, I never realized how nice it is to be able to just close that door and separate myself. It's very spiritual. There's something about closing the door. It's kind of like when you work at home and you need to put your computer in an office and close everything up when you're done. Something about it. So if you're a mama at home, I highly recommend trying it because it's spiritual.
The sun peeks through the clouds above and wraps me in a golden love. I laugh, I twirl in endless spring as butterflies begin to sing. The breeze it calls, the birds they sing. A quiet world where everything feels soft and sweet, just like a dream. I'm floating through a gentle stream. Oh, when the stars are full of grace, I spin around in a tender space. Flowers reach up to the sky. With every breath I feel I can fly. La la la. With every flower in my hand, I feel the magic where I stand. A little world just made for me, where everything's as it should be. I close my eyes, I'm letting it flow. A gentle breeze begins to blow, and in this place I softly sing. The world is bright with everything. La la la. With every step, the flowery air, light blue, the gentle whispers fill the room. I tiptoe softly through the light, dancing petals.
So we did a walk and breakfast and playtime, and now she's asleep. When she wakes up, we're gonna hang out with Dad a little bit, so I probably won't film. That way I can be more present and just enjoy my time with him, and then I'll get some cleaning done. I do know that I'm wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row, and if you're thinking about judging me for that, then how dare you? How dare you? Get out. Get out. I'm back again. So you have a baby shower coming up, or someone you know has had a baby or is having a baby, and you want to make them something. You don't know what to make or what they'll like. Well, here's my hot take. As a mom, if someone is taking the time to hand make something for my baby, they can make whatever they want, and I'm going to be totally happy with it. I will just be ecstatic. Just because you're taking the time to make something for for my baby. And I think that that's incredible. It's such a thoughtful thing to do. So let's talk first things first. There are practical things that you can make for a baby, and there are impractical things. I don't think that either one is better than the other. It just depends on what your goal is. Now, for example, there are a lot of stuff that I made, a lot of things that I made for my baby that I didn't realize how impractical they were until I had her. These little outfits, adorable. If you're going, like, any parent will love this because we love taking pictures of our babies. We love dressing them up. However, you have to know that the baby's only going to wear it once or twice. I think my baby wore this one time and she wore this one twice. And I made it. Like, I took the time to make it. And it's just not a practical thing for them to wear, so I never dressed her in it. But again, parents love those things because they're so special, and especially if someone can't make them themselves. It's so unique. You know, no one else has these things for their baby. So you can go that route. And the other pro is because it's small, it's not going to take it. I mean, obviously it takes time, but not like a tremendous amount of time. So just have that in mind. Now, if you're thinking about practical, in my opinion, the most practical things you can make for a baby are not things that they necessarily wear, unless it's a beanie or a cardigan. Now, the most practical thing, I think, me personally, is a blanket. Why? Because babies grow at an unbelievable rate. Okay, they grow so fast, and by the time that they're ready to wear it, like they're finally big enough to put it on, and then the next moment you know, it's too small. So it's a lot of work to put in for such a tiny amount of time. With a blanket, they can use it when the baby is newborn. They can use it when the baby is a year old, 2 years old. You know, and you can use it, like the one that I'm making, you can use it as a decoration forever. So I like practical things personally, especially if I'm going to put my time into it. And I want it to be something so memorable. Like, if I'm making it, I hope, you know, of course it's up to them, but I hope it can be something that's kind of like a nostalgic thing, or memorabilia. Like, is that the right word? I can't think of the word right now. From their baby's babyhood. You know, so for example, this little mushroom thing that I made and this little bunny thing that I made, because she only wore them once or twice, I can't say that it's going to be like, oh, I remember this is like such a strong association with her babyhood. But again, it's up to them. You know, if they use it a lot, I'll be so happy. But if not, you can't, maybe they might not even like it. Who knows? And that's another thing. If, like I said, you can make the baby whatever you want to make them, but if you want to make sure that they like it, maybe ask what aesthetic they're going for, right? So some parents, they have an aesthetic or something in mind, like maybe they're going for a woodland theme, or they want to dress their baby in more neutrals, or they want to go the princess in pink, which is how I went, which I didn't know until later on. It just kind of happened on its own. That's one way that you can do it. So first, think practical or impractical. So something cute and fun, or something that they're going to use forever. Second thing, you can consider their style that they're going for, especially if it's a decor thing for their nursery, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about making clothes. Number one thing, consider the baby's age. You have to consider how old they're going to be during the specific season that you're making the item for. And my number one tip is always go bigger, because that's another problem with making baby clothes. You don't know how fast this baby's going to grow. So some babies are 6 months old and they're wearing 9-month-old clothing, or some babies are 6 months old and they wear the exact correct size, but that's not always the case. So I would always go bigger because they can always grow into it. But for example, I have a friend that bought me some winter clothes for her for 6 months old, but it was still a little bit too warm to wear them here. And now she's 8 months old and she can still wear them, but it's a little bit of a tight fit. And it's not even quite that cold yet. So you just don't know. You have to consider the season if you want them to wear it. So just do the math, okay? Now, if you want to make something, I would go for something like a beanie, because their heads do grow quickly, but it's not like, it levels out a little bit at some point, okay? And it's just something that you can use so often. Use it so often every time they go out the door, especially if they're in a cold climate. Now, the other thing that you can make, and I highly suggest, if you want to make a top, make something that opens at the front, like a cardigan. The reason why is because babies' heads are massive. And you're going to make this tiny little thing, and then you have to make the neck hole so large so that it can fit over the baby's head. So either make like a little button at the back so that you can open it and it can go over the baby's head, or make a cardigan. This is just my advice if you're trying to make baby clothes, like a top or something like that. The last thing that I want to say is the reason why I'm not big on making clothes for my baby specifically. I mean, like, I make them for her, but I don't know, it kind of, because she takes it and pulls it like this, and it literally, like, I shudder when I see it, because her little fingers go right into the yarn and she pulls everything like this, and I'm like, so babies are rough on their clothes. And that's another reason why I'm just gonna make a blanket. I'm just making a blanket, and again, it's your choice what you want to do, how you want to do it. And that's all I can think of right now. End of the day, you're making something, they should love it if you're taking the time to do it. But if you don't want to get your feelings hurt, consider the season. Consider making something that they can use for a long time, unless you don't care if they only use it once. And also consider the fact that the baby can rip it to shreds, especially if they're a little bit older. Like, I would say past 4 or 5 months, they start pulling at their clothes. At least my little baby does. So keep all of these things in mind. All right, everybody, it's the end of the night. We did dinner, bath, and bed, and I finished cleaning up the house, you know, put the pillows in place, put her toys away, and now I am way too exhausted to do any knitting. I just want to lay down and binge watch Sex and the City and eat some of this chocolate. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think I got maybe an hour and 15 minutes in of knitting, which is more than I usually get, because I usually only use one of her breaks, or of her naps, of my breaks, to knit, and a lot of times her naps are only 30 minutes. So I got in more today. It's funny because I used to knit, I think, 4 or 5 hours a day, and I can't imagine doing that now. But, you know, it's okay. Everything is a season, and I'll have plenty of time later in life to knit more things, you know. In any case, good night. I'll see you in the morning. hardest thing for me about being a mom is that you never do something. You have to do something. So when I say that I make the bed, or like yesterday I vacuumed, I didn't. I half vacuumed and I half made the bed. Is that the end of the world? No, but I've always been the type of person that I want to get things done. You know, not to say that I don't procrastinate. I procrastinate, but when I start something, I need to finish it. I hate lollygagging. I hate just like, you know, slowly. I like efficiency, getting it done quickly, over, and then I can move on with my day. But you can't do that with a baby. It's like everything is in thirds or halves. So, but it is what it is. If you're thinking about having a baby, just make sure you get one with a sleep setting, because I've heard that some of them come with those, and from what I can tell, it seems pretty nice. This one didn't come with one, so. It's our evening walk time, and normally we go every day, but it's looking suspicious, like it's gonna pour down on us at any moment. So I think we're gonna stay inside.